with a concept intercooling. Did you know the concept intercooling? Intercooling is generally done for multistage compression. Multistage compression. Now see, when you are going through any concept or when you are learning any concept, remember that the theory about that concept or any definition about that concept is it within the name itself. Okay, is it in the name itself. Okay, now see, multi-stage compression. What is meant by multi? Multi means more than one. Okay, so the compression, when the compression takes place in more than one cylinder, that is the multi-stage compression. Okay, then what is this intercooling and why it is required? See, this middle portion is the intercooler. This intercooler is generally required to cool the air. See, from here the air will be entered into the LP cylinder, which is low pressure cylinder. Okay, into the low pressure cylinder it will enter with a pressure P1. Okay, now this is the suction valve 1, discharge valve 1. Okay, now it will enter into this is your piston. It will enter into this LP cylinder, low pressure cylinder. Here compression process occur, temperature and pressure slightly increases, and with that pressure P2 it will enter into the intercooler. Now in the intercooler cooling water is present. Okay, through this fins cooling water is provided, so the air reject its heat to the cooling water. The air reject the heat to the cooling water and it get cool. The air here get cooled, and that air is further supplied to the HP cylinder, high pressure cylinder, where it is compressed to higher pressure and higher temperature and then discharged from here. Okay, through the discharge pipe D2. Now there are two terms related to this intercooling. Okay, one is the perfect intercooling and one is the imperfect intercooling. Okay, what are these terms? See, in perfect intercooling, see, whatever the air coming out from the intercooler, okay, the air from here coming out, okay, so the temperature of that air means temperature of air coming out of intercooler इथून बाहेर येणारी, if it is equal to atmospheric air temperature, then it is said as a perfect intercooling. If the air coming out of the intercooler, the temperature of that air is equal to atmospheric air temperature, then it is the perfect intercooling. Okay, see, your point 3 lies on this isothermal curve. With 3 we can, compression process takes place in 3 ways: isothermal, isentropic and polytropically. Here your point 3 lies on the isothermal curve. But if temperature of air coming out from the intercooler is more than atmospheric air temperature, then it is imperfect intercooling. See, your point 3 does not lie on this isothermal curve. Okay, your point 3 does not lie, therefore here work done get increases. So work done here will be more as compared to perfect intercooling, so perfect intercooling is preferred. Okay, so this is the concept related to your multi-stage compression and intercooling. Okay, so now we are going to see the various types of compressors. Okay, out of which one is the hermetically sealed compressor. Okay, listen, due to this marker slips on this board, so the diagrams are not to the mark. So but I will try my best to explain in a better way. Now hermetically sealed compressor. So sealed, this is the word sealed. Sealed means it is completely sealed, nothing will be out. Okay, it will be in one casing. So when it is said hermetically sealed compressor, when your compressor and motor are on the same shaft and are in the same casing, this is the casing, so we can say it as a hermetically sealed compressor. Okay, when the motor and compressor are on the same shaft and in the same casing, then it is said as a hermetically sealed compressor. Now in open type compressor, how it is? See, if this is a housing, okay, the power shaft extend through it housing, power shaft बाहेर आलेला असतो त्या housingच्या, therefore the crankshaft seal is required there in open type compressor. But here it is completely sealed. Your motor and compressor are in a single casing, so crankshaft seal is not required in this case. Okay, this is the suction line through which the low pressure low temperature vapor refrigerant from the evaporator will enter, and this is the discharge line through which it will be discharged. This is service line. If you want to change the lubricant oil or you want to change the refrigerant, then with help of this charging of lubricant oil is also possible through with the help of service line. Now in this, see, this motor and compressor are on the same shaft in the same casing. As the motor rotates, here is the piston, it will reciprocate inside the cylinder. It will suck the low temperature low pressure vapor refrigerant from the evaporator, but that vapor refrigerant, low pressure low temperature vapor refrigerant, is not directly given in the cylinder. Okay, instead it is circulated around the motor and motor winding. This vapor refrigerant help to cool the motor and motor winding. Okay, then it is sent into the in the cylinder, where the piston, according to the reciprocating motion, that low temperature low pressure vapor refrigerant will be get compressed to high pressure high temperature. Okay, and then it is sent to through the discharge line. Okay, it is discharged, this vapor refrigerant. Now in this type of hermetically sealed compressors, these are available up to 10 ton of refrigeration. Their capacity is up to 10 ton of refrigeration in refrigerators, water freezers, deep freezers, then your air conditioners, window air conditioner, air package conditioners. In this all, the hermetically sealed compressor is used. Okay, it is small in size and it can be fitted easily, but one disadvantage is that while maintenance, because it is completely sealed, it can't be removed. Any of the part from this can't be removed, but how to repair it? Okay, so maintenance is very difficult, we can't repair it. So in order to overcome this difficulty, semi-sealed compressors can be used. Okay, now what is this semi-sealed compressor? Semi-sealed means your motor and compressor will be in a single casing as hermetically sealed, but the casing, upper side of casing has 4 screws. We can remove that screws, we can remove the casing, and we can repair whatever we want. Okay, that is semi-sealed compressor. And these semi-sealed compressors are available up to 100 ton of refrigeration. Okay, up to this capacity, these semi-sealed compressors are being used. Okay, so this was the hermetically sealed compressor. Mostly in refrigerators you can see it is generally used at